What's up, everybody? Welcome to this next show. I can't remember the name of the show I was going to come up with, but it's the Jeff Meacham Show, everybody. Woo! Yeah, Jeff Meacham Show. Woo! Okay, I don't know what to call it because I had a whole thing lined up with the 3 shows I had at the beginning of last year, and I've kind of gone away from that, so we'll just call this the Jeff Meacham Show for now. And if we come up with something better, so be it. Okay, I've been waiting for this since it looks like later part of December. So about a couple weeks. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the possible unification of the Intercontinental and U.S. Championships into one championship and what that means for the whole roster. But I briefly want to touch upon the announcement WWE made yesterday, and that is the WWE Network being launched on February 24th. I, for one, am going to do everything I can to convince the other people in my household to get this because it looks like it's going to be really, really good. Really, really good. Everything under the umbrella of WWE's video library for $10 a month, $9.99. That's really good, including the pay-per-views. So you get a 6-month subscription, so you're looking at $60 for half the year, so $120 a year, and you get all the pay-per-views, every single one, and all the video library at your fingertips. And I'm going to do it online on my computer here because, well, the TV here isn't a smart enough TV, I guess, if that's the best phrase I can come up with it. So, yeah, I mean, Vince has got me sold after watching the announcement video yesterday with Vince and DX and Austin and Cena and Stephanie and all the other people that are involved in the coming up with this. You've got me sold, McMahon. You've got me hooked once again. I thoroughly endorse the WWE Network, and I hope I get to get it soon. Okay. Let's talk about this championship situation because I have the entire roster except for The Undertaker and The Rock, and Hornswoggle in front of me because, well, 2 of those are part-timers and one of them is Hornswoggle. So, they're not going to be contenders for championships. However, think about it this way, because it's very funny that I came up with this topic and then I watched the interview with Michael Cole and Triple H. I believe it was last week's episode, last week's brief interview, and Triple H, in his role as COO, briefly stated that there's a lot going on at the top right now. You've got Randy Orton, the world champion. You got John Cena, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar, and Dave Bautista. 6 guys at the top of the top. The cream of the crop, if you will. And I thought to myself, okay, well, where does that leave Alberto Del Rio and The Big Show and Bray Wyatt and Dolph Ziggler and Mark Henry and even Rey Mysterio, who's always up there in the mix? Are they out of the mix as far as World Championship goes? I don't think they are. I don't think they should be. So I think those guys will be your top elite guys going for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, if you scroll down on Wikipedia or you scroll down on my list that I have here and you look at the different people on the roster that don't contend for the World Championship and aren't in primary tag teams or soon-to-be broken-up tag teams, like you look at Brodus and Tenzai, you look at The Shield, who's probably going to break up soon. You've got Big E and Dean Ambrose as the Intercontinental and U.S. champions. And of that group, you've got Bad News Barrett whenever he friggin' wrestles again. Brodus Clay, Hunico and Camacho. You remember Sin Cara, for those of you who don't know, Hunico is playing Sin Cara again. And Camacho, his buddy, who is actually still on the roster. Christian, Kurt Hawkins, Curtis Axel, Damian Sandow, David Otunga, Fandango, who recently got an Intercontinental Championship shot and lost on Raw to Big E Langston. The Great Khali, Justin Gabriel, who was on Main Event last night, I noticed. Kofi Kingston, The Miz, Ricardo Rodriguez, who might be wrestling soon. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Ryback, Santino Marella, Tenzai, Tyson Kidd, Yoshitatsu, and Zack Ryder. Now, it sounds like to me that there's enough guys in that small group to be worthy of one championship or the other, Intercontinental or U.S. Championship shots. Enough of those guys where you can have, dare I say it, one on each show, one on Raw, kind of like a brand extension type thing for the mid-card championships. And perhaps some guys challenge on Raw, some guys challenge on SmackDown, or have a feud going on for one of them over the course of both shows, and then have the other one kind of lay dormant, like the U.S. title has since October, I believe, the last time it was defended on television. Wow, Dean Ambrose, you're supposed to be the guy that Shield had title defended since October. Just saying, Dean. Just saying. But then again, you look at that roster. Okay, Bad News Barrett's going to wrestle soon. Brodus Clay is probably going to get cut, if not pushed into a monster storyline, which would be awesome. Camacho they don't use, they'll fire him. Christian, if he doesn't get healthy, they're going to fire him. Kurt Hawkins hasn't been used on TV in how many years? Axel's still around. Sandow's still around. Otunga hasn't wrestled in a while. He's doing PR stuff, I understand. Fandango's in the mix. Khali's somehow still in the mix. Sin Cara's in the mix. Justin Gabriel's on TV here and there, so they could use him. Kofi's still around. Miz is still around. Ricardo's not wrestling, so maybe not him. Reigns and Rollins for now are still a tag team, so they could be in the tag team picture, which we'll get to in a minute. But Ryback, what are they going to do with Ryback now that he's, he having to do commentary? Yeah, that was great on Monday night. Santino, a good comedy gimmick, could challenge for either championship down the line, so maybe. Tenzai's not going to be anything more unless he's a big bad monster beast again, so cut him loose. Tyson Kidd's a great wrestler. He could do great things. He could be Intercontinental U.S. champion. Don't see it happening for him, unfortunately. And just my opinion. Yoshitatsu, again, same thing. He's got all the talent in the world, but no real oomph to him. And then Zack Ryder, former U.S. champion in his own right, former internet champion, wink, wink. So you've got guys where even if they unify the U.S. Intercontinental Championships into one television championship or some sort of mid-card championship, it wouldn't be where everybody would be lost in the shuffle like JJ and I have argued about this over and over again over the last few weeks. There's enough guys where they wouldn't get lost in the shuffle. Then you have the tag team division, which right now looks like this. Cody and Goldust, the champions. The Primetime Players, 3MB, Los Matadores / Primo Epico, whatever you want to call them this week. The Usos, Truth and Woods, Rowan and Harper, and the Real Americans. That's a good, solid group of tag teams that are all together and all unified and all fighting for the championship. We had a great tag match the other night between Xavier and Truth and the Real Americans. It was a great little match on Raw. Maybe it was on Main Event. One of those shows. I forget which one now. Dad and I were watching it together. I don't remember. But, yeah, they've got a great tag team division right now. So I don't think there is conceivably a problem with unifying the Intercontinental U.S. Championships into one division. That way you've got one championship. Some people had their comments. At MikeX270 said, and I quote, "As far as unifying the titles, I think as long as the storylines make sense and as long as they are defended each pay-per-view and the matches are worth a damn with storyline build-up, then I could go either way, whether they're unified or not. I just can't stand when they make a match for a belt on the Monday before the pay-per-view or in front of WWE.com. I remember when Curtis Axel was Intercontinental Champion this past summer, some of his matches on pay-per-view were announced either on the Raw before the pay-per-view or on pre-show for the pay-per-view day itself. Give me a break." I agree with that. If they're going to announce a championship match, it should be announced before. At Ricky Lawson, the Jayhawk Kid, "I think there should be one mid-card title. It's ridiculous that Dean Ambrose has not defended the championship since October 30th. That's the same thing I brought up before. Let's see. What else? At B Taylor 612, Brandon Taylor, "They should. The U.S. title means nothing anymore. Hasn't been defended since the summer. October, but we'll give it to you." At 10 Daniel 30, Daniel Luntz, "Yes, titles should be unified and WWE should create a new title that is defended each week on TV." So you're talking about like a TV championship. That makes perfect sense to me. Let's see. Any other TV title, New Year's? No. Looks like that's it. All right. I got it all done. Yay me. Woohoo. I'm so proud of myself. And I did it really quickly too. Thank you guys so much for watching. There'll be more coming. I'm going to do this show. I'm also going to do Jeff Meacham Classics, so be on the lookout for those coming on the YouTube channel in the near future. For now, we'll see you next time.